So many of you have asked what is meant by pork chop. Well, this is my sanctuary. And I don't have awards up here, or at least other than my shadow box. But what I do have is the topic of today's sea story, and that is the pork chop. This is Tom, the pork chop piper. Welcome to Backyardistan on Decovia East. Today, I am smoking my Roma 7 LA Roma with some 965. I admit it, I'm hooked on the stuff. I love it. I figured, what the heck, I'm going to smoke, may as well smoke what I like. Yesterday we had the pipe club, and I tried out all sorts of different stuff. Some of it I liked a lot. Others, it's okay. But it's always fun to go to the pipe club because there is such a diverse group of people there. And, you usually know who's going to show up. The regulars show up. But then every now and then you get somebody who comes in who hasn't been there for a while. Maybe a returning favorite. And it gives you an opportunity to get to meet somebody new in your community and learn their story. So many of you have asked me, what is the deal with the pork chop? Well, I started off today showing you some footage from my sanctuary. And yes, there are a couple of awards up there, but they're mostly in my shadow box. For the most part, my sanctuary is chock full of precious things that mean a lot to me. Ships models, plaques from different ships I've served on, and the odd shore command that I served on too. I did some shore duty. I don't recommend it. I did enjoy going to sea. Sometimes it became tedious, but for the most part, I always enjoyed it. So where does that pork chop come from? In my shadow box, there were a couple of collar devices you saw. And one of them looks like a loin end pork chop. And throughout the Navy, most specifically in the submarine force, the logisticians on board are referred to as pork chops, mostly because of the collar device and what it looks like. But each department head has a nickname. In my case, I was the chop. In the navigator's case, he was the nav. Weapons officer was Weps. The engineer was the Eng. Okay? It makes it comfortable in the wardroom when the captain's talking with you to use that title instead of your first name. You usually know when you're in trouble and they address you as commander. Um, but in my case, I preferred to be referred to as the Chop. My crew knew me as the Chop. As a matter of fact, many of them never even learned my last name. No big deal. And they, of course, wouldn't call me by my first name. And it was just easier to refer to me as Chop. That stuck with me for my entire career. And I didn't mind it. I wore it as a badge of honor. Okay? It was a privilege for my crew to refer to me as Chop. When they were on the wrong side of me, they lost that privilege and were required to address me by my full rank and name. So, and I tried to never ever let that come to pass. I can only remember one time when I did. And the guy just, he screwed up, and he screwed up bad. He knew it. But he wound up paying a price at Captain's Mast for it. And I'll tell that story another day. He was a good sailor, really good sailor, and he's now a chief petty officer. So he has succeeded even after he had that little hiccup. So that is the reason they call me Chop. Hope you guys are having a great Memorial Day weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Cap signing out.